Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We finally made our way through Nuke, but it did take 3 overtimes for Winstrike to win that map. And Tricked, I mean, that must be really gutting. Now they're going to be playing on the Dust2 instead, and I kind of look forward to it. It's been an exciting first map, Blue.
Yeah, it was more than anything. I think it was gutting for Trick, considering that they were the one who made the comeback. They were the one who grinded their way back up to 15-15, and then had 2 different opportunities to close it out in the first and second overtime as well. Weren't able to do it. So more than anything, I think that's going to be a little grinding for them. The good news is we're going to Dust2 at the very minimum for the second map, which is a little, I think, a map that everybody should be a little bit more familiar with, a little more comfortable playing on. And hopefully we can see the individualistics shine out a bit more from each of these rosters here. Especially with like what was built up in terms of storyline from the first map as well. We had Quick going absolutely insane, especially on CT sides. And then we had, players like Acor as well, showing a lot of really cool potential on the AWP, especially in 1vx situations. And on a map like Dust2, where I think he's going to have a little bit more freedom to play around with that, it's going to be very cool to see how that continues to develop over the course of this series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the scary thing for me, is if Quick is going to have the same kind of a game, then some of these bomb sites are going to be very hard to hold if you're on the CT side. So we'll see how that plays out. Don't want to count Tricked out yet. I'm pretty impressed by the fact that they sort of made it back from what wasn't really a great first half on Nuke. They seem to manage to keep their composure. And I would say at this point now, if they crumble and they just can't really put it together on Dust2, that could be maybe a little bit understandable. It's kind of hard to lose best of 3 overtimes like that. If they make it back though and still play well, that's a good sign, I think. Then you learn something about the team. You're like, all right, they got tested a lot and it didn't really break them. So I'm not sure which version of Trick we're going to see, but something I'm going to be looking forward to.
The other problem that I think is going to pop up for Tricked is, I think Tricked, you had mentioned this at 1.2, Tricked definitely seemed to have a little bit more in their playbook when it came to their T side on Nuke. And I think that gave them a little bit of an advantage on the T side. It wasn't part of the reason why they were able to battle back. It's some pretty interesting ideas for how to play the side. I don't think that they're really going to be able to do that since we're going on to Dust2. It's a map, as we all know, is like kind of played out at this point. We don't see too much in the way of change-ups to how teams generally approach it anymore. So that is going to be a potentially limiting factor for them as well. But we'll see on that as we're going into the second map now, folks. So let us find out if Tricked has something else to offer us, if Trick still has something up their sleeve, or if it's going to be Winstrike taking it all day. And this is interesting from Trick, but the problem is Winstrike immediately noticing, trying to push up mid. So far, we're not really out for anyone, as it still just led to an evenly traded 3v3. Bubsky finds the 4th. Oh, and another one on top of that for 4 people dead total. It's all down to Alien in the 1v3. Tries so hard to get these kills, but can't get it done. Tricked take the pistol.
That whole push, I mean, I love that is some classic Dust2 kind of push up middle. It's kind of weird that Winstrike had a lot of people there, but they weren't really all sort of fighting all at once. But then again, neither were Tricked. Bubsky was flashed in as like the third player in that push. He was the one flashed in instead of the first one being. So I don't know, it worked out, but maybe not how you would have always, thought about it.
Ended up just being a little bit of a skirmish between the 2 teams ultimately. Back up at top mid. I
actually like it even from like psychologically thinking about it. You lose that first map in triple overtime. You come back here like, let's rush middle and kill him. Like that gives you some good feeling potentially.
Let's just go out and fight them.
Yeah.
And that seems to have worked pretty well for Trick. Still come a little bit close to actually making sure they won that round, but they'll come out on top of it at the end of the day, and they're looking to do it one more time as we go into the first eco here for Winstrike. Acor looking to tag a few players down with the scout. He's already found one onto Norbert. For more besides that, there's not really a whole lot lining up for Winstrike on a light bot round like this, except for the tag on the Acor, and even that won't lead into a kill. It's 5 still alive for Tricked at the end of it as they take a clean second round.
Nice triple for Hunden, getting himself a little bit warmed up. I mean, kind of low impact frags, but fine. Just get whatever you can at this point in the game. Third round coming up now. No bomb plant on the first 2, but they're going to have AKs. So, I mean, from a weaponry point of view, Winstrike have all the advantage right now.
Let's see if we can use that. There's still a few players for Winstrike we haven't really seen do too much so far in this series who were present at least in their game yesterday. I think Norbert's a good example of that. Had a pretty quiet first map. Still need to see what he is capable of, although we're probably not going to see that on this round. 2 very decisive kills to start things out as Winstrike try to push the extremities of the map control that they have, and it just does not work out. Zero room for response on that from anyone else on Winstrike 2, as those are solo players trying to move in on their own. So it's ultimately going to be very one-sided for Tricked at the start of the third round.
Absolutely one-sided. Putting some of those lesser weapons to use up close. Winstrike not able to respond with anything. That's kind of shocking. You would have expected they could have done a lot more, winning some fights with the AK-47. So now it's all up to Norbert to try and do damage. Again, this is the bonus round for Trick. So if he gets no kills or even just one here, that is not good enough.
Yeah, and the problem for, we'll talk about this in a moment, actually, is they've just found Norbert. So they're going to try to pincer him out, probably from the double doors, as you've got Hunden pushing him now. The push from top mid also going to catch him. And that's Bubsky getting his third kill on the round, and Tricked, again, closing out in clean fashion. 0 kills against them on, as you were saying, on a bonus round, too. It's really going to help their money build up here. We can already see some players going past 5K just at the start of the fourth round.
Well, there only are 2 kills on Winstrike, and those are both on Quick. So in terms of, again, psychologically making up for that loss in triple overtime, you start the second map like this, that's going to be so valuable. Well done for Trick to pick themselves up. Now they just need to continue, of course. They want to push this onto map number 3, which will be on Train. I think statistically their best map, Tricked, so they obviously want that, although I wouldn't try and underestimate Winstrike either.
Now, especially with the poor performance that we saw from Tricked on that map yesterday, I'm sure Winstrike watched the demo and is definitely going to try to abuse some of the same things we saw Aristocracy do when they played them on it just yesterday afternoon. It's a slow build-up again for Winstrike. They really don't have a choice due to the limited purchases they've brought into this round. Going to try to more than likely play from B halls out onto the site. But Tricked already seems to have a good idea of this. They just pulled Bubsky out for mid, so they're going to leave that open since it's not going to be a mid to B on this low of a buy. The second player will commit. They'll have a good crossfire out from the tunnel. Rotates are going to be pretty far away, so if Winstrike gets away with 1 or 2 quick picks on the inside, they still have a chance to do something here. But ultimately, yeah, it's just about finding the push. They've done it now. Bubsky will get into position. And for the most part, this is going to be shut down.
Flashbang set up there, looking for the headshot with no armor on Ilian. He's going to go down immediately. And I don't know, I kind of like this idea from Winstrike. That smoke they were just fighting through, he actually threw from outside of long, which people do regularly now. So could have maybe faked someone out pretending it was a B split, but ultimately good defense on B-bomb side, and they're going to be just fine.
Things are going to remain good for Tricked as they continue to push further and further into the lead. 4-0 now. Winstrike comes in with another big buy, so it's another chance for them to try and change their luck, but that hasn't been the case. They were absolutely decimated on the last gun buy from them. So they tried to push a bunch of angles pretty much alone. Didn't really have any teammates supporting them. And as a result, when Winstrike lost 2 to 3 players at the start of the round, there was 0 room for trades. That issue just continues to devolve, as we're going to see very aggressive play from Trick. Norbert ready for it this time, though. Picks up the first kill, but he's incredibly low. Bubsky should be able to trade it, but no, it's not the issue. Bubsky is forced back, and Norbert just barely survives, so he's not going to try to push in for the trade. Bubsky will have that at least to look forward to, but Acor finds another pick, and we're going to be even.
Man, that was a huge risk for Trick, but there's part of me that still sort of likes it. I think they're trying to play a style where Winstrike actually... Oh, that grenade! That could have taken him. He's down to 2 health behind it. Bubsky, how does he stay alive in this round now? Still a 4-on-4, but I like the idea of Trick really sort of trying to make sure that Winstrike just find no comfort at all. Like they're being aggressive up mid the pistol, pushing 2 into upper dark. I think they're really trying to make sure that they don't find any kind of comfort zone here. 40 seconds on the clock. Probably going to be a B split with a lot of people going out middle. They have all the smokes for it. Hunden here with the Krieg. And he's going to be close to middle, so they're going to smoke it off. Oh, he's going to fall back into it. Let's see how this works out.
It's working their way out. Obviously taking a little bit of time to set up nades. Is going to give Trick a bit of an early warning. They also have a fast rotate. Acor, excuse me, Borup is going to work his way out from mid. Unfortunately, though, gets caught by Ilian. Hunden, at the very minimum, is ready for the push at window, but is unable to adjust when Edward works in. And Edward quickly leverages that into a double by finishing off Bubsky. Mind you, that wasn't the hardest kill to get. Finding him now leaves just Acor in the fight. 1 versus 2. No utility to work his way back into the site with. He does have a kit, but the re-entry needs to be all on that AWP, and this is not easy for retaking B site on Dust2.
It's really not. Acor, yeah, he knows it as well. They have won 4 in a row, and their money is looking decent, but not on every single player, so don't really mind him saving this AWP at this point. Yeah, that could have been different. Nice timing for Winstrike to get that push through middle, and leaving the one guy up a dark to not show himself for almost all of that. Oh, Edward, gonna get it. A-Core will save the AWP. So a little something working out at least.
Yeah. And just to still bring the roster down to only one player alive at the end of it for the T side. So they're not necessarily going to be running away with the money or anything like that too. And with 4 rounds consecutively for Tricked, and at least 2 of them having all 5 players alive, rebuys are also not going to be an issue for Tricked, although long-term money still is a problem for them. Oh, nearly a collateral right there for Alien as he walks out. The lineup just not where it needs to be, unfortunately.
Bobski going to be quick to fire that second AWP, having 2 of them on the CT side. Almost a Dust2 tradition, isn't it?
Pressure's going to remain heavy towards CT, although Bobski looks like he's being pulled out from mid again into the B site after a little bit of pressure was shown from Norbert a second ago. I think chucked a flash or something out through the B tons. Now Tricked are sitting back, still playing passively, waiting for Winstrike to make the first move here. Got a lot of control through mid. You even got Edward kind of poking through, playing with the possibility of that CT push like we had seen before. They've got the smoke set up for a mid to B play. That's certainly not what we're going to see Winstrike execute on. Definitely favoring a cat long split right now.
A-Core going back here alone with no backup is, well, very high risk. But it sort of seems to be his style, so I don't want to try and talk him out of it. I really enjoy watching it. 40 seconds, and they're going to be pushing 3 people out long, a couple coming up catwalk as well. Really low on time. Good grenade to float him back down, and Borb going to get the 1 kill there. Hunden to follow up. A-Core dropping one of the long, or the ramp pushes there. It's going to be A-Core up close again, and there is no time. Ilian, yeah, if he pushes, he's definitely going to go down, and they're not going to peek him, so again, A-Core really showing us a lot right now.
So no room, obviously, for Alien to try and go for a B rotate. The round is over. He'll have to sit back and just save for the following round. Is this one? It's going to go right into Winstrike. Excuse me, right into Tricked as they'll take back control of the lead. Like I said before, the guys on Winstrike not sitting too pretty in terms of an economy situation out of it. So saving the op certainly going to help, and they've got at least 2 players that can still fully rebuy going into this round. But aside from that, money is going to be very, very delicate situation for them. And more than likely, Tricked will have a much easier time getting their 6th onto the board.
Yeah, what a tremendous start here for the Danish side. Probably not what we were expecting, just looking at the first map and how Winstrike did look very, very dangerous, and obviously they ended up winning it. Tricked on the other hand, and this is what we were talking about, you know, were they going to crumble from losing that triple overtime, or were they going to step it up? And right now, happy to say, it looks like they've really stepped it up. A-Core could have definitely gone down then. That was sort of a no-signal, dry peak all the way into long. That's terrifying. Bobski, though, in the middle, gets 1, and even Ilian getting tagged.
So great damage again in the early round coming out from Tricked. Although questionable map control, they do have to peel back a bit. Oh, man. Right out of his vision.
And Ilian was blocked by the smoke. Otherwise, then he would have seen him. Wow, that's unfortunate.
So Ilian goes down. Another pickup for the Tricked roster as Hunden nearly misses it around the side of his ACOG scope there. The rim of it almost costing him. Thankfully, he still ends up getting the better end of that equation. And now it's just waiting for this cat execute to happen. Winstrike, the ball's in your court. You've only got 35 seconds left. I think they're going to try to run boost it. They're stacked on top of each other right now. I don't know if it's just for vision. Out goes the run, and it just does not work at all. A-Core with an easy double. We'll see in a second if he can make it a triple, but no, not going to be the case. Hunden instead gets his own 2nd, and Tricked confirm the 6th round.
I love those run boosts, because when they work, they look really cool. And when they don't work, then it sort of seems like you're just sacrificing a teammate, you know? Just offering him up, like, take this guy first. Oh, he's dead.
Listen, if we give you this guy, you can let the rest of us execute, okay?
Yeah.
Just give us up to elbow, and then we'll worry about it from there. Yeah. But as you'd expect, Winstrike just not really hitting the ground running at all here on Dust2, which, if I recall correctly, was their map pick. going to take a pause here to start the map off.
Yeah, they kind of need it now. They're definitely running a little bit of trouble. I mean, their win percentage, I think, is actually lower than Trick's is, at least according to HL TV stats. So maybe they are in a bit of trouble, more than we were expecting. 6-1. I would still say T side should be a little bit stronger on this map than CT side.
And Trick actually have a decent amount of history on this map with a lot of the teams in this tournament on this map, but the guys from Winstrike are actually not one of them. So this will be one of the first times, at least in recent history, we've seen these two rosters clash on this map. Winstrike maybe overplaying their hand a little bit and how much individual strength they'd be able to bring to the table against Tricked, and that could cost them, of course, if we don't start to see things change up. Only one round found for Winstrike out of good 3, if not 4 gun rounds now. So just failing in a lot of aspects here. Hunden able to find Norbert, who tries to sneak into CT to catch him, along with some early damage that also went on to Bondic. This is on top of Winstrike, pretty much being out of utility. They do try to push towards a molly. Oh, this is going to work great, potentially finding Borup. Bites right into that. So the risk from Edward to walk through the molly pays off. Now they've got to build it into a long play. This is where it's going to be difficult without any massive utility. The 2 mollies will help, but besides that, they don't really have a whole lot to get across here with.
Hunden. They're going to get the kill anyway, and he did a fair bit of damage. A-Corp to follow up under the bomb side. Now they're going to have to run up long here. They need to try and do this. They have one more Molotov, but only 25 seconds, and Bubsky going to pick up the kill, leaving Quick in a 1 versus 3. They are really getting shut down here, Winstrike. Oh, if he ran, I don't know if he could run for B. Hard to say. He goes out long. If he stays here for 1 more second, he's going to get shot at the back. Almost did, but A-Corp will take him down.
So yet another round going into Trick's pocket. So they seem to be unstoppable here on the CT side of Dust2. Great holds from them, and unfortunately for their opponents on Winstrike, just missing on every opportunity, getting shut down on every single execute so far. Trick not even really running ahead so much. There's just still turning out to be, in a lot of circumstances, relatively close rounds. And you can see that when you look at the economy from Tricked.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Tricked are still in control of the situation and always seem to have the map control in their favor too, so Winstrike just never really have any platform to make it execute work.
Bondic on 0 kills, I believe. This is round number 9, so not that it's all his fault, but I don't know. I was kind of expecting some of these Winstrike players to have some really powerful openings towards some of these bomb sites. Just take a fight, you know, upper dark, maybe middle, should be able to win some of those fights, I think.
A lot of players on Winstrike really going quiet in this map. And like you said, not that they've necessarily had the greatest opportunities to find any individual plays to come out, but when the opportunities have been there, they also necessarily haven't been taking them. So it's Winstrike down to 3, stuck in mid. No long control if they try to take it. Borup is waiting right by the double doors against that push. Obviously, a B play is also kind of out of the question. They can't get past mid doors at all. If they try to go for tunnels, there's already a 2-man setup to stop that. There's, like I said before, just no options for Winstrike, really. Map control is a big issue for them, and they're not being given any easy platform to get onto a site with.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. There's really no way to imagine how they could make it through here. They would need some tremendous headshots. 10 seconds, and they're going to be all for Shush instead. Triple for him, nicely done. Quad actually overall. And I don't know, what do we think about this? Could be like a 3rd map very quickly.
Yeah, which is a huge change-up from what we just had on Nuke too. But
yeah.
To be fair, we did have a pretty desperate scoreline at one point in Nuke as well, and Tricked were able to come back from that, but now we're asking a different team after playing through a triple OT, which they won, to kind of come back as well here after falling down. I think we're at like 7-8-1 now. So this is turning into a very one-sided affair, and something that Winstrike have to be very, very careful of going forward. Another pause going to be taken by them. This is their 2nd out of 4 for the map. And they need it. They need to figure out some type of strat that works here. All of their different plans, and they've tried a lot of different stuff. With the exception of the one good B play they've made, nothing has worked.
Alien hoping to find the right timing. Kind of did. Leg shot, though. Still not bad. That's going to force Bubsky to, well, try and play in a couple of positions where he's not going to get grenaded, basically. Oh, wow.
Actually, should trade guns. They trade back. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably want the AWP if you're low on health, right?
Yeah. It's Bogdan rules.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
been a while.
Yeah, that's an old one. So, we'll see Winstrike.
Oh.
Try to work their way up, but again, yeah, the nade, nearly perfect damage with it onto Bondic there as he's brought down incredibly low. Quick also going to take a lot from that, but Bondic's got something to say in response. A nice shot against Acor. And finally, Winstrike have a man advantage. Is it really?
Yeah, first kill for Bondic, so they needed that right now. 4 versus 5, and this could be a really good execute, Winstrike. They've got the right idea. Bubsky, though, still alive from earlier. He's going to get the kill. Bora will pick up 1. And let's see if they can follow on through. Bondic with 1 more, and he's finally going to get shot down. 35 seconds left, and with Shush picking up that one, I think Quick's too far away. They don't always hear. That's like the only advantage he has at the moment. Oh, and I don't know how Shush sees that, but he does. Man, they had a good chance there.
Just not dealing with Bubsky at all. You could see so many different players trying to check it around the corner and not a single one of them paying attention to him. So either he goes unnoticed for so long and is just allowed to get away with that many op shot attempts and a few successful ones too, or they don't catch him, in which case that's a big miss by Winstrike on their info game to not be able to deal with that quicker.
Look at that in the middle. Pushing out with the AUG into lower dark. They are, like, Bubsky's, can't even blame him. He's just feeling so confident right now. Gonna go and clean them up. Just do it all on his own. Oh, well, if he'd had the gun out, he would have got that 3rd kill, I think.
It's really gonna get that molly onto the ground, though. Still does a little bit of damage to Bora, but won't make a grand difference in the big scheme of things here, as Winstrike still end up somewhat healthy to play into that. But the double kill, the 2-for-1 trade, and the bomb drop is again going to limit the early game play from Winstrike here. They'll be stuck in middle. Kvik actually takes a lot of damage, I think, from the molly that was on the ground there. Good flash against Acor is going to send him back behind the B boxes. Borup also knocked out here long by Quick. This is going to look for another kill. This time, though, not going to happen. Hunden shuts him down with the range advantage and Trick to go back into having that 3v2 man advantage, although it's potentially going to get leveraged. There's only one player, Hunden, playing onto the A side here, and he's going to get forced back into long. So Winstrike at a minimum should be able to get a plant here.
Oh, and waiting in the middle, Alien. That's so clever. He wins the first fight now. Up against the AWP. Going to be turning his back, and he's seconds away from getting shot. Oh, and the missed shot there from Acor. Doesn't happen that often right now, but that probably should be it. Don't challenge him. Like, whatever happens, that is not worth it. And he's going to run away.
It's already confined to the save. No reason to test that luck and potentially give him a winnable situation. So finally, Winstrike again. We're able to come out on top of a round. It's just barely, though. Acor also going to be hunted down here. Bit of a rough round for him. A few misses, which have been pretty out of character when it comes to Acor. We've been seeing him hit a lot of shots, but at the same time, he's been a more risky op player anyway, so we've been seeing a few more missed shots from him.
I mean, he tried to no-scope that last kill.
Yeah.
And he had time to scope, so, you know, probably just, I don't know. One of those rounds. Yeah, this play from Alien here in the middle is, that's pretty huge.
So that's much better, at a minimum, mid-round calling coming out from Winstrike in order to leverage that into a win finally. That's almost always where they've really messed up and have been unable to change those rounds back into their favor. So it's good to see that change up, but the question becomes, again, did this happen too late, or is it going to be enough of a difference to potentially bring Winstrike back into this for something like a 9-6 at half? But again, the start of the 12th round does not make it seem like that is going to be the case. Tricked with 2 unresponded kills. No chances for anyone on Winstrike to pick up first deaths against Tricked from those. Borup is even going to make a aggressive push here, right next to both Alien and Bondic. This is going to be interesting when the smoke fades to see if he is able to make impact against these guys, because they should have no idea he's here right now. And there you go! Walks right up. An easy double for Borup.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to be so upsetting, isn't it? And out on long, Quick, he's pretty much boxed in. He's going to go down to Hunden with that C-set 75, and Trick bouncing back after a single round loss. They are looking pretty much indestructible here in the first half. Push into upper dark like that is like that worked out beautifully.
So another great round coming out from Trick. This CT side continues to come alive for them. The aggressive plays are continuing to pan out as well, especially the one we saw from Borup there in the late round. Winstrike are constantly trying to make up for this. Like, they're trying new things all the time. You can't really fault them for that. Always trying to get aggressive, try and get one up against Trick. This time it seems to have worked. Edward with the advanced position by Bluebin knocks out Borup, and this is on top of the pick they found at the beginning of the round against Bubsky.
Bomb is a little bit far back towards T-spawn, but it seems like Trick are just saying, let's stack B. If they come, maybe we win. If they don't, we'll at least save the rifles. Which, looking at that money, is probably good news. So, I think this is, maybe not the most exciting end, like you see the execution of Winstrike, no one's defending. But it's fine. I think this is not a bad move for Trick at all.
So they're going to sit back and just call save at this point, more than likely. Winstrike walk right on, get that easy plant. We'll be looking at a third round. Not anything the Trick need to worry about with the lead that they have right now. It's only a small gesture as long as they can, again, immediately respond. And it's a bit of a random team spray there from Hunden. Throws out the team spirit spray.
Yeah, maybe he's a fan.
Just the one he had ready to go.
But yeah, 3 versus 5 here. Obviously, nobody from Winstrike trying to throw anything away, and you look at their economy, you understand exactly why that is. So, big opening kills, and that's it. That's all you need.
That was enough a lot of the times to make the difference. Not a whole lot for these Winstrike players to do. Not really a point in hunting down Tricked. Their economy is also not in the most amazing position with the amount of times that they've been kind of reset here, even with the new changes. But still, now going to be looking to get that 4th onto the board and still aim for a somewhat respectable 10-5 half, although on Dust2, we definitely look for a little bit more of an even record at 9-6 or in that 8-7 if you can get it. So still will give a pretty hefty advantage to Trick, even if they don't necessarily get any more rounds in the half. Alien starts this off well again for Winstrike, though, finding Hunden on an aggressive peek. Bubsky trades her right back and drops the bomb at lower tunnels, although he's probably not going to be able to hold on to the bomb.
Yeah, but still really annoying for Winstrike. After getting like the opening kill, they only get to keep it for like 3 seconds. And Acorn now bringing it back in their favor, taking down Quick, so goes from bad to worse. They're right around the corner here. They have the Molotovs to try and check some of these, but if they don't, surely they're going to be the crossfire. Oh, they're actually out of the window now. That's risky, but Bubsky can't, yes, if he's back here, that's fine. Should be taking a look. He goes down just now. He's counting the seconds. If he goes back and checks and sees nobody, yeah, that's a lot of information.
Should
wow.
Work his way up, and yeah, the timing works out. He won't be able to spot any of the players in lower tons that have worked their way down. He can still move in for the pinch on them, though. Oh, he's probably going to catch someone up on top of Xbox here. A little bit sloppy on the spray, though, so actually doesn't get the confirm on any of them. He just runs right back to the B site. Well, the very minimum, though, should get the call if the execute is coming. Acor, though, also missing a shot. He's going to throw off his aim a little bit here, as Borup also waits for the push from Alien. He's going to get it. Alien, though, trying to delay this. There's a good reason behind it, too. It keeps these remaining Trick players locked at long without an easy way to start the retake.
Oh, man, everybody's been in that position that Shush was just in, but he missed that shot. That's going to maybe cost you the round now. 3-on-3. Bondig with a great headshot. Could definitely get the follow-up, and indeed he will. Shush now trying to make up for it, but he's going to get shot at the back. Alien there with the triple instead. I mean, it's just, those rounds are so painful. He gets that kill. It's 2 versus 3. They probably win it. I don't know. We've all been there.
Yep. Would have had the capability to push back in directly from long and more than likely group up with all 3 of them. Alien going to keep us rolling, too, right into the 15th round as he deletes Hunden, catches him right on the jump for the cross.
They're going to get close to the UMP, at least. Not going to be any flat. Oh, they made a lot of noise with that. Yeah, I think they heard that. I don't know how they get back into this bomb site now. Bubsky dishing out some damage, but again, still holding lower dark, still holding middle a little bit here. Going to be at least one kill going in their favor, but it feels like Winstrike have at least found a way to get some rounds on the board here.
Tricked again. Not a whole lot to work off of down to the 2v4, but it is the 15th round, so they've got to try for something here, even with a pretty much complete lack of utility. That actually might confirm the kill, or at very minimum force Kvik into the open. It's Borup instead with his grenade that gets it. And now as he walks in, has been unable to spot Nor, but that's not going to matter. Elian is going to pick up the final round as Winstrike. Bring it back 5-10. Will that be enough to net them a 2-0 victory, or a Trick still on the warpath to win? We'll find out right after this, folks. Stick with us.
You and all the things you do. Just believe me if you're not sure. Maybe you need more. Know you're sinking into your past. I want this thing to last, 'cause I just wanna be with you.
Well, here we go. Second half, second map coming up now. Interestingly, we're kind of mirroring the scoreline of the first half on Nuke, which is also 10-5 in favor of Winstrike, whereas now Tricked are doing a remarkable job. So maybe Winstrike still have a chance here.
Well, let's find out, of course. It's going to need to get off to a good start for them. They finally started to pick up some consistent round wins.
Oh, God.
Towards the end of the first half, and this is going to be interesting to see play out. Norbert gets deleted, so we need to see the pinch happen from Winstrike quickly. Kvik going to try to hold things out from mid. We've got the pinch coming in from players like Edward. Edward looking the wrong way, though, but still able to get the kill on A-Core. Problem is he's alone on the inside of the Tons here, and he's potentially going to get pinched. So this is a really weird matrix of players. Bubsky is able to find Edward, taking him out, but now you've got 3 guys at the B wall trying to push their way into the site, and they just completely destroy the roster from Tricked. Bomb is down, Borup as well, the last man standing in the 1v3. He goes down, and Winstrike take control of the pistol for the second half.
I think, right, the entire Trick team went to find Edward in Upper Dark, and they got the kill on him, yes, but then they were... I actually think half of them ran back into the flashbang that set up for the mid-take, or retake, I guess. So maybe that was a bit of an overcommitment to find Edward. Maybe just 1 or 2 people, not like all 4.
And so that ends up costing them potential win on the pistol, along with their control of the B site that they pretty much already had because of the lineup that Winstrike went for at the beginning of this one. Quickly out into long, Quick gonna be able to get one. Promise he gets dinked afterwards, so tries to fall back, but Shush shuts him down before he's able to get into a safe position. Bondik also going to get dinked. They try to jump across. Bondik sees it, but it doesn't matter. Shush again finds the confirmation on kill. Alien running out of ammo on the pistol, so Edward gets called in from the back of Long, and Norbert gets the final kill. Another pretty chaotic round there, but Winstrike still end up taking it.
That was like, that was really a low energy run boost, wasn't it? You know? They really weren't trying a lot. And it's like,
It's like, quick, try it. And then they just didn't have time to prime it up at all, so. Inslee ends up flying like 5 feet forward.
yeah, it looked really lazy, didn't it? It's like,
I think they were trying to get up on top of it too, and it just didn't even make the distance, so. Didn't end up playing out the way they would have hoped. Strict failed to get that second response round in. They do have the bye coming up on this round, however. Borup will take a little bit of damage at the beginning as he tries to push into the double door area and ends up losing, well, even more so now, 40 HP from that.
And once again, just like the last time, when you've got these FAMASas and the MP9 there on quick, you kind of tend to be playing a little bit closer. What a shot from Alien. Not really the most common position to peek, although they're going to kind of give it back. Maybe losing their minds a little bit here. I'm not sure why Ed would want to do that.
I guess maybe they noticed the bomb went down and they wanted to try and have a little bit more of an aggressive hold on mid. But also could have just been the fact that getting that confidence back a bit more. Maybe misjudge the positioning from the tricked players in mid since they'd still been pretty quiet up until that point.
Well, out on Long is still quick holding there with the MP9. Looks like he's going to be tested probably beyond the capabilities of this weapon. He's got a flashbang. He get one kill, fall back, flash, and fight again. I think that's the only way you get more than one kill, and it's not even going to be close to true. Borup will take him down, leaving Bondik up here. Time is slightly with them, 30 seconds here, so maybe Winstrike could bring it back if they get the right kill at the right time here. The bomb still has to make its crossing out on Long. That's Bondik down, and yeah, they're going to try and throw it over. It's kind of awkwardly stuck. Alien? Can you get any of them jumping past? No. Trick turned it in their favor.
And so Tricked wake up very quickly, get themselves back into this on their first real investment. Alien, of course, nothing that he can do, so he's got to fall back and save. But there's still a lot of time left in this round. Bombs have just been planted. They've already gotten ideas to where Alien's at, and they're going to run into him in a moment. Alien, not sure if he's realized it. Regardless, it's going to turn into a bit of a chaotic play here between Bubsky and Alien. Bubsky still gets the better on his own op, though. And that'll close out the round for Tricked. First of the half for them, but it's up to 11-7 overall.
I would love, if you know, later on you could interview Edward and ask, was that like a call from a teammate? Did somebody say something that we don't know about? Because that was 4 versus 5, right? So they
Yep.
pretty much had the advantage. Now they're ready to set up a bit of a trick on Long. One flashbang and a bunch of pistols.
Yeah, they really could just had the op to like hold it there and whatnot, considering they dropped the bomb and someone was going to have to go back and get it. So
Look at this. Could really be working out. There's the flashbang. Bubsky can't see anything. Great follow-up as well. They steal that AWP. They even get the AK-47. The bomb is out there as well. This could really be a disaster. Norbert going to get the one kill still. It's doable.
Alien having upgraded. Problem is, they are able to knock out Edward, who had the upgraded gun first. Alien falls quickly after that, so Tricked. One final push, and they still recover to pick up another round for themselves here. Just a few more away now from shutting out the map. Taking us over to Train to decide this series. In much quicker fashion it would be this time, too, even with the little bit of a mini comeback we've had from Winstrike. Just not proving to be enough. We'll have to see now. The CT is starting to establish a little bit of an economy, so we can start to see a bit more of a purchase from them. They only got a few chances at this to shut down Trick before they do run the gauntlet. Right up to 16. It's Norbert spamming in early on here, but the problem is there's also pressure out in mid. Borup starts things off with a frag on Edward. And the rest of the Trick roster looking to very quickly pinch Norbert out. They succeed in doing that. No other defenders remaining for Winstrike. They're going to be forced out. And the retake is...
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
As much as you don't want to give them 13 rounds, 4 versus 3 on that B-bomb side, just I think almost everybody will say that's not a good idea.
So after some deliberation there from Winstrike, it looked like they were going to attempt it for a second. They do indeed fall back over to the long pit. They're just going to sit here. Again, prioritize saving the guns. They virtually have 0 money. In fact, they do have 0 money on 3 out of 5 of the players. There's only 1,200 left on the remaining 2, so rebuys are definitely going to be rough here. Saving the 3 rifles will help with that and make sure they can still put up a bit of a fight in hopes of stopping Trick from continuing to run the gauntlet up to 14.
I think Norbert pretty much sprayed all of the bullets for the smoke, and that's kind of dangerous when you do that. Because I think at this point he's reloading essentially, and he actually has to go in and hide in the corner to continue the reload. So to some extent, you know, like half the clip is fine, or the magazine. Can't say clip because then people on social media get angry. Say clip is the thing used like on rifles. Please. Can't keep having this conversation. You
Technically, there's still like a clip inside the magazine, though, apparently.
It's also just because magazine is longer, clip is just easy to say.
Yeah.
No one cares if it's technically correct. It's completely irrelevant. You know.
We just need to put like an M1 Garand in the game or something like that. Then we can appropriately say clip.
Yeah, I haven't shot one of those, but I've shot like a World War I rifle in Georgia, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Oh, boost in the middle. Oh, that would have been nice. Don't get to see those often enough.
Norbert's going to be pegged by something down to 58, more than likely an HE nade. He's brought down lower at the start of the round, trying to play close up to those B tunnels. Trick in the meanwhile, oh, Hunden. A nice spot from him after the smoke goes down. The problem is a bit too strong on the push. Ends up walking right into Bondik's crosshair. I don't think it was properly flashed out either, so he goes down. Edward also falls a moment later. So Winstrike's roster is going to start to look a little weak once again in the round. Not weak enough, though, for Strick to continue on with that push. They do pull back from Cat.
Well, they should, because Borb is in CT spawn. So they're just going to use that as like the anchor with which to rotate around. They know no one's holding here. There's only one person to be. I don't know if they know that, but it's not a bad guess at all. Flashbang, my God, Bondik. And actually quick there to set it up with the flashbang. That's well done. Are they going to be here in time? No, but if he gets a kill, that just might buy the time, but he's not going to get it. Still a good call here. 40 seconds, and Bondik almost gets that kill. Now pushing in, it's going to be quick to go down. Bondik's done so much in this round, but it's just not enough. Wow, 14 rounds for Tricked.
A lot better now. They once again find their consistency, just a few rounds away from getting control of map number 2 and taking us over to Train, where they'll have to relive yesterday. Things did not go well for them there. Only took 5 rounds against Aristocracy, but they're going up against Winstrike, who's been a little bit inconsistent in this series. We've had really great stuff from them, especially from players like Kvik, but they've gone a lot quieter on this map. We just haven't seen that ability to shut things down like we had on Nuke.
Okay. Borup trying to practice that tapping away. But they're going to lose A-Core. Alien there. 1 AWP. What's going on here, Bobski?
Bait to try and maybe move a player out. Not going to see much from that too quickly, but Borup's tapping finally yields results. And Shush is also taken down. Edward with a great lineup on the Deagle. See if he can get number 2. Not happening this time. Hunden there again to trade things out. Tricked.
I'm wondering if Bubsky knows something that we don't. Oh, quick. Sneaking up. That's not bad at all. And now Hunden bomb far away. 1 versus 3. He's going to try and play this one a little bit quickly. Why not? He's only got time for a little bit. He's not going to work out. Ilian instead with the triple. Nicely done. What if he could throw the smoke so that it lands not at the floor, but...
like on the hinge?
Yep. And then he could look under it for a peek.
That would be next level. I saw them able to try that. He was specifically going for a lineup like that, so maybe...
I mean, it could be absolutely nothing, right?
Yeah.
But...
it's interesting. We'll have to... another thing to research, I suppose. As Edward starts this off well again for Winstrike, although he just barely survives the encounter. Alien slightly early on that shot too. If he had waited a few more seconds, might have actually been able to grab something from it. That is not going to be the case. So for the time being, Winstrike will maintain the man advantage at 5v4 with Edward being very, very low.
Yeah, it even looked like Edward was about to run in either to his own grenade or somebody else's, I'm not sure, but it's getting uncomfortable out there on long. 23rd round here, and looking like Trick are going to be able to kind of just blaze through this map. It makes you wonder. I mean, their performance on train yesterday wasn't great, but it's a new day. It's not impossible that they could still do a lot. They're going to be grouping up on the catwalk here on the Danish side, setting up for... Yeah, they're going to fake a little bit in middle. They're going to pretend. That could sometimes draw a couple of people away from it. Certainly draws Bondic closer back into middle, which pretty much leaves Edward on 15 health as the guy to hold on to this catwalk area. That just will not be easy. 30 seconds, and now comes the execute. The flashbangs are in, the smokes are up, and Edward, he almost has to fall back. He can't really stick around for too much longer. He's going to miss the chance there, and they're going to go for the bomb plant. 20 seconds, and nobody there to stop it either. Tricked getting closer now to picking up the second map and going the full distance, and looking very good at the moment.
Winstrike looking for any opportunity they can find here to start this retake, but it's just not presenting itself. They don't have the angle to play off of. Norbert's going to try to take the same spot where Bor picked up a kill a second ago. Bor gets his second. Kvik and Alien there for the trades. Is it enough though? No. Shush works his way in, finds two more. And Edward's the only one left. He's only got that 15 HP from before. He's going to run away. And down he will go back into the pit to try and stay alive for the next round. But Tricked are going to go up on map point now to tie us up 1-1. They can close out just one single more round.
Yeah, good, really good call. And I mean, you kind of see the effect of that one smoke down the middle, just drawing a couple of people away, but that's enough. Edward just alone with 15 health trying to hold it. He needed to hit like 2 shots when they were even running towards the bomb site, and that was not going to be possible.
Especially now with the low HP they had. Tricked are actually going to call for a pause here, interestingly enough.
All right, DM. Already winning.
Just icing the kicker a little bit.
Yeah. It's feeling it. God, Hunden, you know, controlling the troops.
It's clearly got something to say before a team goes into this round. So just taking those extra 30 seconds. And we'll see what that yields for them. It's like you said, they've got about 8 or 9 chances to close this out before the map ends.
He's actually having like a really good game, and I am still impressed by the calls that he's been coming up with. It's just that the internet turned his life into a meme before he like even really started playing Global Offensive. It was kind of, you know, it's unfortunate, isn't it?
Yeah. It's always good to play off of that, though. Ooh. Especially if he has that good result. The rest of his team, something to take home with. Acor gets a good start on this round, but quick. They're just as quick to trade it back. Bor with another response for Tricked in the meanwhile. Winstrike trying to go for a pincer a little bit. Definitely trying to get some damage in the mid with utility at a very minimum. They're not finding it too easily, however. Bor pushed back into the inside of Cubby, but they don't see him, so he shows up with one more frag before getting traded again by Quick. He's gotten the only kills for Winstrike so far in this round. And now he's got to do a bit more. Trick still have a +1 on him. He's going to try to push the window, and that will lead to his death. It's just Edward alone now.
You would really have to have a, you know, a wild imagination to be able to imagine Edward picking up this round. Does get the AK-47, still has no head armor, no diffuse. Oh, he's picked up a diffuse kit right then, so still not possible. Not even really worth mentioning. 1 versus 3 here. The bomb is sort of halfway ticked already. Just gonna try and give it his all, and he's gonna get shot down. 16-8, and Tricked bringing us on to map number 3. It's gonna be on train. I must say, That was not what I was expecting at all.
No, respect to Tricked, right? After coming back, losing the 3 OT, after managing to have 2 opportunities to shut it down at the beginning of Nuke, or rather when we got to the beginning of overtime in Nuke and not being able to take that after the comeback in Nuke as well, thinking that they were going to be crushed coming into Dust2, but that's not the case at all. They rebound amazingly, get one of the most decisive scorelines we've had so far in the tournament. And now off of that, are one more map away from shutting it down, but it has to go back to the map that they were shut down by Aristocracy on yesterday, and it's going to be Train.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a different kind of Trick. I don't think it's going to be the same. Just looking at it, I think they might actually have a pretty decent chance of doing it.
Yeah, especially after the performance on Dust2, I think that's the case as well. And
maybe Mark will, save himself from having that pick.
He's gonna try his best.
Yeah, I feel like it would be some justice. We're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll be back with the third map. So don't go anywhere. More is coming up.